we're starting today with the reports that Prince William, as we just mentioned, has had coronavirus himself. And Dr Hilary is here. And he didn't want to tell anybody, he didn't want to alarm anyone.
No, there was a lot of bad news at the time. He wanted to carry on regardless, so he stayed at home at Anma House back in Norfolk. He did do some engagements at that time before he knew he had it, I think.
Right.
This was after Boris Johnson had coronavirus and after his father, Prince Charles. But he did do comic relief a week later. He opened a Nightingale Hospital on a video link. So he carried on working despite having symptoms. And thankfully he's better. But
good. And the good news is, I know it does not discriminate.
It doesn't.
We know. And also that the kids were OK and his wife Kate was OK too.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's very good. As we know, young people get less symptoms. But he's 38, so he got symptoms. It just goes to show it's not just somebody, a virus that attacks people over a certain age.
Yeah, for sure. And again, they were together all the time and she didn't get it, which just shows that...
It's very strange. And, of course, our Kate didn't get coronavirus when Derek did get it so badly. And we don't really understand why that is. I mean, clearly it could just be good luck that you've got ventilation in the room or, a lot of space between you. Perhaps there's genetic influences on some people spread the virus more than others. We just don't know enough about this virus to say yet why some people get it and some people don't.
We don't. As we keep saying, lots more research needed. Now, look, Wales have enforced their own firebreak, of course. Northern Ireland introduced new restrictions in October, and I think Scotland's 5-tier level system is going to come into effect today, we believe.
Yes.
And this Thursday, of course, England reintroducing lockdown. Now, how is that going to affect people's lives that live in England?
OK, so there are the guidelines which say you stay at home unless you have to go to work. Education continues. If you have to go to school, if you're at college, if you can work from home, you work from home. You can go out to exercise with members of your own household, or you can go out with one other person from another household if you're on your own.
OK.
So that's different. So that's a bit more lenient than the previous lockdown in the spring. Playgrounds and parks stay open. That's a difference as well. So the open spaces will be more available.
What about things like restaurants and bars and beauty salons, and hair salons?
All closed.
So that's all got weddings? No.
Weddings, no. Weddings are banned unless in exceptional circumstances. Funerals can still allow 30 people to attend, obviously socially distanced. So again, it's stringent, but it's not quite as stringent as the first lockdown. OK,
and as you said, schools and universities staying open, that seems to be the priority.
That's right.
Although, of course, that could change.
One of the interesting things about universities is that students are asked not to travel back and forth between university and home, which is often done at weekends
well, especially
and things,
now,
but that makes absolute sense.
Do you think a month is long enough for this? Do we know?
It probably won't be. We just don't know until we see what the numbers do. Nobody can predict, where we'll be in 4 weeks' time. We look at the data, and we've got lots of tests being done to show us what's going to be happening in 4 weeks' time. We won't know for 3 weeks. So going into lockdown now, some people would say we should have done it a little bit previously, but we're doing it now. So people know what they're being asked to do, and in 4 weeks' time we'll look at the data, we'll look at the figures, see what's happening in hospitals, see what's happening in intensive care units, and then a decision will be made. But I don't think anybody responsible can promise what will happen in 4 weeks' time. We just have to see how the virus is behaving and how safe the population is or isn't.
And if we all sort of obey the rules, then hopefully... What I don't understand, though, is all of these things happen, right, that was announced and he was bounced into it, obviously, because of a leak, which shows that the Cabinet aren't united. But he's bounced into it. Why does it not just happen there and then? Why have we got to wait till Thursday? Because you know what's going to happen. People are going to go out. They're going to go to the salon and get their hair done. Of course they are.
Let's go and do it while we can.
Yeah.
I think there are two reasons. Firstly, I think it has to be passed in the House of Commons. I think it has to be passed by a majority. So it can't just be enforced because they'll be accused of being a totalitarian state if they do that. That's one thing. And the second thing, I suppose it gives places like restaurants and pubs the chances to get rid of stock that they've got, make some preparations and plans so that they don't have that
Do you not feel
immediate lockdown.
Really sorry for them? Because an awful lot of restaurants and an awful lot of places have spent fortunes being COVID safe.
They have.
They really have. And also, places like beauty salons and hair salons are always extremely you know, they're very careful anyway, never mind whether it's COVID or not. And it just seems so sad that they spent all this money, made all this effort, and then they're being told in the busiest time of the year they're not allowed to open.
I know.
It's so sad.
And I completely sympathise with them because they have done extraordinarily good things in making it as safe as possible. Unfortunately, however hard you try to make it safe, it can't be completely safe. You know, the virus is a microscopic thing. It's millions of droplets that people expel when they speak, when they talk, when they move. And even if you take those precautions, we know from scientific experiments that the virus is transmitted in a room. You know, you could be on the other side of the room, Lorraine, and if you've got the virus, you could transmit it to me just through, you know, being in the room for some period of time. So there's no way of making it 100% safe, and this is the only way of getting the numbers down. So if we get the numbers down and we get test and trace in place, then we've got a fighting chance of having a normal life next year.
Don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Lorraine on the ITV Hub and all the best clips, compilations and playlists right here on our channel. Just subscribe now and you'll never miss an upload. Click here to watch another video similar to this one, or click here to head to our channel's homepage to explore all of our exciting videos.